I am live. Okay, guys, today's magic with words. And let's just see. I see that Orville Nation is on. Hello, hello. And I think more will come on at times, but I want to see what you think about an incredible quote. This is one of my favorite quotes of all times. And if you're wondering who I am, and this is your first time on these, I'm Elena Chapman. I'm a mystic and a two-time international best-selling author. Have a third book out called Hello Soul, which will be coming out in Audible form, which is so cool. And that's at elenachapman.com, which will be fun because you know what? Hi there, Joe. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. And I think you're going to love it because it has my personality in there, which can be interesting. No, I'm the one who wrote it. It's my story. So I thought it'd be best that I read it. So if you're interested in an Audible book like that, I'll let you know when it comes out, which is very, very soon. And it's at elenachapman.com. Also, what else? I've got a show that you'll see come on their lives called Mystical Muse. It's a podcast, and it's also the power of the spoken word. That's right, Joe. It's powerful. It is magical. And then, and also, it's also a podcast, but I'm also doing lives. Tomorrow, I have got Kevin on. Kevin on this is so cool because he interviewed me twice on Positive Network Radio. He is so much fun. If you're going to watch Mystical Muse for practical, everyday spirituality, that's the one you want to hear because that's going to be so much fun. Thank you for the thumbs up. So let's get started on this because this is big. Gandhi, one of my favorite quotes. Let's listen to this one. Your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your actions. Your actions become your values, and your values become your destiny. Now, he was right. And I always have that quote hanging up on my wall because it starts with our beliefs. It starts with what we are taught with from the time we're 1, 2 years old, and it just keeps going. They say between 1 and 6, you're like a sponge and you soak things up. But if you have something like when I was 10 years old, I had a very traumatic thing happen to me. And in that traumatic thing, it kind of tainted my world of humans in general. And I don't want to go into it now, but we all have things like that happen. But I want to talk about the powerful, magical thing of words. Now, this weekend, I had the pleasure of being with two incredible women who have done a lot of work on themselves. Actually, they studied with me. I love that. But then, and they are truly heart-centered. They're guided. They feel strong and confident. But it was really interesting because they started talking about things that have been happening to them because it's been a while since I've seen them. Okay, we were just touching base. And they started to say one kept getting these narcissists in their lives and they didn't understand. And then she said this interesting thing to me and she said, "But I'm a fixer. I am a fixer." Remember that. Then I met with the other one and she starts talking about a friend. She's got a really successful business. And she had a friend who was trying to ruin her business, take over her business. And then she had a guy who was trying to ruin things again. And she said, "I'm a fixer. I have a big heart." Okay. Now you think to yourself, okay, so what, Elena? A lot of us are fixers. A lot of us are this and that. And we all have big hearts, or I have a big heart too. Okay. Anytime we put I am, then we're stating the present. This is what we are. A fixer, you would think, has no problem. I'm a fixer. I just, I don't know. You don't think of anything about it. But yet, the universe sees this and you believe it because you put it in the I am, which I'm going to talk about it in a minute. A fixer is a person who is going to fix things, correct? Well, then why wouldn't every single thing in a human being come into their life to be fixed? Get it? They're fixers. And subconsciously, because it's in their subconscious mind, they are actually looking for people to fix. Now, I thought that was very interesting. And how often do we have incredible little thoughts in our mind that we think are harmless? Like, I always heard my parents say, when someone made it really, well, my mother mostly, and we were pretty successful. But my dad's business, it would go up and down because that's the type of business he was in. He was a vice president of Shearson Lehman Hutton in our state, not nationwide, in our state. And so it was going, if stocks were good, oh gosh, we were good. But if stocks were not, they were not. That's it. So, but my mother would always say, like, if a star all of a sudden came upon not such good publicity, or a person who made lots of money would lose it, and she'd say, well, that's what you get. That's what you get. Meaning, and I'm sure we've all heard this, what goes up must come down. Now you think that's nothing, right? But it is big. Because in your subconscious mind, you're thinking, if I achieve, I'll have to come down. Words. Words are our belief. And whether we are just flippant with it or not, we use them and they're weapons against us. That's how we use them. What comes up must come down. Subconsciously just puts you in, okay, I'll achieve, but I'm going to lose it all. Or you have a fear of success. People come to me with the fear of success. And a lot of times when I talk to them, it's because they fear that when they get up there, they can't handle it and they're just going to fall. Isn't that interesting? The power of words and how we sabotage ourselves. And this is part of the journey of us growing. I don't want us to punish ourselves for the words because that does absolutely no good whatsoever. But I do have one thing. Well, actually, I have 3 or 4 things that can help. I'm going to give you one tonight. I have an event coming up on the evening of the 24th of February. It can be online. It's online. It's also present here where I am, but I don't expect you to travel here. That's why I have the online. And it's all day on, it's a workshop all day on the 25th. It's going to be cool. It's a workshop called The Illusion and the Art of Manifestation. And man, is it ever an illusion. And the thing is, when we live in that illusion, we don't even know the games. You got to learn the game. And when you learn the game of living in the illusion, then my gosh, it becomes an oyster for you. Anything you want, you can start to have. The life you want, you can have. But it starts with knowing how to handle that illusion and understanding the illusion. So one thing, and ourselves, like I said, these women that came to me they had done a lot of work and they had accomplished incredible things, both of them. They're both well off. But this is where they were falling, in being fixers. So what do we do when we find this? There's I forget his whole name, darn it, and I tried to look it up, but I guess he wasn't as famous as I wish he had been because I had a hard time finding him. But the name was Howard, and he had the book of the power of the word. I don't know, but he had this wonderful exercise that I'm going to teach you, and it was observation, self-observation. Now he did it. I love that exercise so much when I read it. that I have adopted it to many things that I do with people. Self observation is a wonderful way for you to observe what you're saying, what you're doing, the habits that you have that you don't even understand that you have, the self sabotage that you're doing. It's wonderful for judgment, understanding judgment and how often we judge ourselves and others. And it's also wonderful with the power of the word, this magical word. And so when we look at in the self observation world, and the biggest thing is we do not punish ourselves. No, because that's so self defeatist. We simply observe. So it's like we lift out of ourselves and we observe ourselves. And when we see that a situation like toxic people are always coming into our life, why is that? Or we're getting the same result all the time, why is that? Take time to self observe. How do you handle that situation? What are you doing when that person who needs fixing comes into your life? What are you doing when that challenge comes into your job that seems like the same challenge? Are you going to treat it the same way? Manifesting abundance. That's right. And what are you going to do when you see yourself handling something the exact same way, knowing that it's going to get the same result, which wasn't so good? Instead of punishing yourself, say, you know what? I'm going to back up. That's not how I want to handle that. How do I want to handle that? Or that person comes into your life that needs fixing, back up. Say, okay, I understand that I'm attracting this. Do I really need to fix it? Is that really where I see myself? Is this really what I want to do? And just back up. And then just take a different route. Don't do the fixing. Handle that challenge at work in a different way. Maybe do some research in a different way to handle it. Go about it in a different way. When we do the self observation, we are actually moving from the subconscious mind and its old beliefs of things that we've heard or people have told us about ourselves into the present moment where we can face whatever illusion this life is and change the odds for us by the use of words and by our actions and by our present in the now belief of ourselves. Do you see? And it starts with the words we use because that's what we're observing. People have known that words have this intention so much. And I mean, that's why we have mantras. That's why we have affirmations. That's why we have intention. That's why spells are worked with words, you know? But we don't always think of those everyday words, how they are forming our life every minute. It's time for us to become conscious. It's time for us to pay attention and observe ourselves because we have the power of then stepping back and saying, that's not really what I want. And then we have the incredible power because we are the master creator to say, I'm going to change this story. I'm going to use different words. I'm not a fixer. I am me. I am a creator. I am a manifester. I am a lover. I'm not a fixer. Get it? It changes everything. So, does anybody have any questions on that? And Joe, thank you so much. Sounds like you're right on with this stuff. I hope, did you learn anything new? I hope that power of observation is That observation exercise is incredible. And I love it. It's really funny. If you find that you're judging yourself, you can do the same thing. If you go down this, you're welcome. If you're walking down the street and you hear yourself say a judgment on something or someone, you don't punish yourself. You just back up and say, "Hey, is that really how I want to think?" And then you just correct it. None of this self-deprivation kind of stuff, you know? You just simply change it. And that's how I live my life, or that's how I started my growth. And you'll know when it's right when you change the words and it feels like it uplifts you and it feels good and it feels freeing and it feels powerful. That's how you know you've changed the words for the better. So, if you guys want to learn more and you want to attend that wonderful workshop, Illusion, and the wonderful world of creating and manifesting, the art of it, because it is an art, I am Mr. Negative, but shh, but I'm trying. I say, do some observation. And every time you say something negative, say, oh, but do I really want that? Where's the positive side? That's all you have to say. And before you know it, Joe, really seriously, before you know it, all of a sudden you'll come out with something positive right away and you'll think, wow, what happened? It really works like that. You do it a few times and then all of a sudden your mind gets in sync with it. It's like a game to your mind. I'm all for games of the mind, going in the back door to change believing thoughts. I really believe that we can alter our subconscious mind in a way that is fun for the mind. I don't know, maybe it's the Gemini in me or whatever, but I know for a fact that if I went hard on, oh, it's no fun. It's a hard road. And we're not here long enough to suffer through that as far as I'm concerned. But if I can find ways that it's a little game, if I can find ways that raises my curiosity, and if I can find ways that I can just easily trade, then I'll do it. Why would I? Why would I take the hard road? No. So really try this out. Let me know. And like I said, guys, check out ElenaChapman.com. We've got some really cool things. Anyway, there's got the blog. Everybody is subscribing to that. I think that's great. I don't know why, but they are. But if you want to come to the event, check that out too, because there's a lot more where this came from. And that's what it's all about, so that people can really start manifesting. You know, that's the one thing that amazes me. And because really what I teach is how you can really not you better yourself, but I work through the chakras to help you really reach that wonderful divinity. And it's so funny that when I ask my clients, the very first thing they always say, which just makes me laugh, is that I start manifesting right away. And that just blows my mind, because that's not, I understand it, because when you clear out all the yucky stuff, yeah, why wouldn't you be able to manifest? But it's really not what I'm aiming for. How funny. And thank you, Joe, for being so honest. All right. So that's all I have for you tonight. Enjoy and have a wonderful, wonderful week of observation and just starting to become present and in control of the spoken word. All right. Namaste, everyone. It's just a bit of soul wisdom for you. Take care and have a fabulous night. And thank you.